Raise your hand if in your life there's a gap between what you want to do and what you actually do. Yeah, there's a gap for a lot of us. And that gap, the self-accountability gap, is exactly what I want to talk to you about in today's video. Hi, I'm Karin, and I am a person who used to seriously struggle with self-accountability. I cannot tell you the amount of projects I have started and abandoned, goals I have set and let go of. Over and over and over again, throughout most of my life, I was really struggling with this exact concept. But then I went to school for 6 years and got a PhD focused on health behavior change. And I learned a lot of the science behind things like self-accountability. And that helped really turn things around for me. And this science is exactly what I want to bring you today. I want to bring you 3 tangible tips for becoming more self-accountable. But before we do that, we have to start off with a mindset shift that I want you to make. Now, raise your hand if you've ever told yourself, I just need to be more self-accountable, or I just need to hold myself accountable, or I'm deciding right now to hold myself accountable. Any of those things? If you're giving me a yes, make sure you put your answer in the comments so that we can all know we're not alone. Here's the problem with that. Self-accountability is not a decision. It's not an action. It's not a choice. Self-accountability is a skill. And that is a really, really important mindset shift to make, because it's going to shift your focus from deciding to do something and then when you can or can't do it, being right or wrong about that, into growing your self-accountability skills. The same way you would grow your guitar playing skills or piano playing skills or French language skills. So you're probably asking me, okay, Karin, if self-accountability is a skill like you say it is, how in the world do I practice that skill? 3 ways. Tip number 1 is to go on a commitment strike. What is a commitment strike, you ask? Well, a commitment strike is when you make as few commitments to yourself as possible for a period of 7 to 10 days. Stop telling yourself you're going to wake up early. Stop telling yourself you're going to go to the gym. Yes, literally give up all expectations that you have from yourself. And here's the reason for that. I want you to think about your relationship with self-accountability as if it's your relationship with a friend. If that friend is constantly disappointing you, they're constantly bailing, they're constantly not showing up, that kind of hurts. But if you take some time away from that friend, if you give yourself a little bit of distance for a couple of months, you might be able to build that relationship back up. The same is true with self-accountability. A lot of times when we are struggling with self-accountability, it's because we're actually overcommitting. We're telling ourselves that we're going to do things that are perfectionistic or unrealistic or don't actually fit into our daily lives. And so giving ourselves a clean slate is the first step to building that self-accountability skill back. So once you've spent 7 to 10 days not promising yourself you're going to do anything, then you can start to build that trust foundation back up with tiny, tiny tasks. I want you to start with the stuff that you almost know for certain that you're actually going to do anyways. So for example, you might promise yourself, hey, I promise I'm gonna get up in the morning tomorrow and drink coffee. If you drink coffee every day, that's an easy promise to fulfill. Then you might start with something really tiny, like I'm gonna promise myself that tomorrow I'm gonna get outside for at least 10 minutes. These tasks should be so small that it would be virtually impossible for you not to follow through on them. And if there's a circumstance where you don't follow through, that's okay. Back up, make the action smaller, and try again. A quick tip is to ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident am I that I can get this done? And if your answer is not 9 or above, you need to change that task and make it smaller for yourself. This, over time, is going to build back that sense of accountability. So eventually you will be able to tell yourself, I need to do a hard thing tomorrow and follow through on it. But we can't start there. We have to start and grow our skill. Just like if you were learning piano, you can't start off by playing Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony. You have to start off by playing Mary Had a Little Lamb. I'm gonna pause here for a minute and say, if you don't know how to take your goal and break it into tiny steps, I'm gonna link the video that I just did about that exact topic so that you can go watch that if you need some help. Let's move on to tip number 3. And this one is gonna be a little bit harsh. This is gonna be a little bit of a poke, so don't get too uncomfortable. But you need to come face to face with your lack of follow through. A lot of times when we are struggling with self accountability, what happens is we want to ignore what's happened yesterday. We say, oh, I told myself I'd go to the gym yesterday and I didn't go, but I'm just going to forget about that and move on and try again today. The problem is, our best teacher in our lives is our own behavior. We need to study ourselves as diligently as we would study for a test that we absolutely needed to ace. So in those moments where you don't follow through, in those moments where you promise yourself something and then you don't actually do it, I want you to get really curious about why that happened. One of my favorite phrases in behavioral psychology is this: every behavior is an attempt to solve a problem. Your brain is not working against you. And as soon as we start figuring out the real reasons why you skip that workout, or you eat that thing you don't want to eat, or you spend on Amazon instead of saving for your goal, as soon as we figure out the reason why, the real reason why those things are happening, we're going to be able to fulfill those needs in other areas. And yes, in this process of reflection, you might feel a little frustrated. You might feel guilty. But the truth is, we can't run away from those emotions or run away from what happened yesterday if we want to change what's going to happen tomorrow. Whew, that got heavy for a second. So I want to finish off with one fun little bonus tip for you. Actually, it's more of a reminder. Stay committed to skill development. You would not expect yourself to become a world-class gymnast overnight. So do not expect yourself to magically become self-accountable because tomorrow is January 1st, which it's not, but if it was. My point here is have a long haul mentality. Think about growing this skill over time and just getting 1% more self-accountable than you were yesterday. That is going to make the biggest difference. If you liked this video and you want more tips on mental skills, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll also link a couple of videos that are really related to this one in terms of setting goals and actually following through.